everyone, my name is Marie. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's speed build, I am building a mid-century modern house in the world of Sunset Valley. Is it called Sunset Valley? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not even sure about it at this point because I literally never build here. It's the world that comes with Get Famous. And I don't really ever build here because I don't really like it all that much, even though, I mean, it is pretty cool. And the surroundings are definitely different and just something, yeah, just like I mentioned, something a little bit different. But at the same time, I barely ever build here because the lots are a little bit awkward in my opinion. Like they're so big. You can definitely see that I am building this small house on a very spacious lot. And I'm definitely not taking up all of the space on this lot. Like I definitely did not use all the space and I was just kind of pretending that this lot was actually a bit smaller. So that way this little house would make a little bit more sense on this big lot. But yeah, that is just something that's such a shame because the world, in my opinion, or for my personal gameplay, would be so much more usable if the lots were just a little bit smaller. And like the same goes for the lots in the more fancy area, like up the hill. Those lots are very big as well. I mean, that makes sense because you can build like mansions and stuff there. But the thing is that the lots in the more downtown area where I'm building right now are also very big. So that makes it a little bit difficult to build in this world, in my opinion. So yeah, long story short, that is why you barely ever see any builds on my channel in this world. But for this house, it was, yeah, this was actually the perfect fit because I'm building this house for a up and coming YouTuber is what I had in mind, and it's actually a house that I want to use for my personal gameplay because currently whenever I have free time, I like to play with a sim that I'm trying to I'm trying to make her a little bit famous in the influencer career, which is a lot of fun because I have never actually played through that career. I've never actually done that before. So yeah, I really wanted to give that a try. And that sim is living in an apartment right now. So for this house, what I had in mind, because it's not a tiny home, it is a pretty small home, but it's not a tiny home, and at the same time it's also pretty luxurious and new. You can see that it has like mid-century modern vibes. It definitely looks like a mid-century modern home, but I was imagining that it's also just recently renovated. Like it has a brand new kitchen and stuff like that, and brand new bathroom and things like that. So yeah, it's actually pretty nice and luxurious, but at the same time pretty small. It only has one bedroom and one bathroom. But it also has a very large and spacious office area because I turned that into the filming space and office area, like I just mentioned. But if you want to play in this house with a sim that's not a YouTuber, you can also turn it into a small family home. Because you could easily turn the office space into an extra bedroom or even a shared bedroom because it is pretty big, but you'll see that later on. But yeah, what I had in mind was this would be a perfect house, like a first house for a YouTuber. I was imagining that the sim that lives here, or I'm actually playing that out right now. But yeah, I was thinking that that sim, they used to live in an apartment in San Myshuno ever since they got started on their career, and they're living in a pretty nice apartment right now. But ever since they got started on their career, they actually have become pretty successful and a little bit more famous, and they're definitely making some money. So they have been saving up that money, and eventually they were able to buy their first home. And this is that home that I had in mind, a YouTuber's first home. So yeah, I thought this house was perfect for that. Well, obviously because I built it with that storyline in mind, but that is why this house is pretty modern and luxurious, but at the same time not too big because it is their first bought home. So yeah, that's pretty much the storyline that I had in mind, and I definitely had a lot of fun with it. I used a lot of eco lifestyle things for this build as well because, I don't know, I'm still obsessed with the floorboard and with the wallpapers that we got with that pack. Like, they're so nice and in a way perfect for mid-century modern builds as well. I don't know why exactly, but I don't know, I just really enjoy the floors and the wallpaper. For this build as well, or just for mid-century modern styled builds in general. So yeah, you can definitely see the house and the color scheme come together. I used a lot of warmer wood tones combined with blacks and whites. As you can see, the kitchen is fully black and white, and I just really like that stark contrast in combination with the more warmer tones, the more warmer wood tones that I used throughout this build as well. So yeah, I was definitely having a lot of fun with that, and yeah, you can really see it come together. I made it look fairly young in a way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just kind of tried to make it look like a house for a younger person. Because yeah, I was just imagining that the sim who lives here is a young adult. They're in their like early 20s or maybe like their mid 20s or something. But they started on their YouTube career pretty early on in life, and they're just so passionate about it that they have always known that that is what they wanted to do with their lives or with their life. So yeah, they started on their career pretty early on and started making money pretty fast because they're just really, yeah, talented. They're really good at what they do. So that is why they've been able to save up a whole bunch of money, just enough money to eventually buy their own house. So yeah, and they also had enough money saved up to buy nice furniture and stuff like that. So they definitely made sure to not just buy a house on a whim, but they really saved up. Like they were living in their apartment for way longer than they would have needed to because they had saved up the money pretty fast. Or just a little bit ago already, but they didn't want to buy the house too fast because they wanted to save more than enough money to also like buy nice furniture and things like that to kind of just make the space their own as fast as possible. So yeah, that's kind of the storyline that I had in mind, and you can definitely see that I used a lot of eco lifestyle combined with tiny living. And then I also used that little end table with the table where the TV is standing right now is from Nifty Knitting, and I mean it's a little bit like of a different furniture style. But I was really enjoying it, so I decided to just go ahead and use that for the TV stand, basically. And I thought it looked really cute because this sim, maybe they're just creative all around, and they also like knitting and crafts and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought that end table was just really cute, and in a way, it made sense. And here you can see I filled up the empty wall right there with a whole bunch of bookcases, or just two bookcases mixed together so that it looks like one slightly larger bookcase. And I know that it can look kind of stupid when you combine or when you repeat items because the clutter also repeats, obviously. But yeah, I don't really mind it for this one. It's not too obvious in my opinion, but I just cluttered it up with a little bit of just decorative items, just some different decorations. And you can definitely see that the house is not that big. Like, the kitchen and the island counters definitely take up most of the space. But that is also kind of what I was going for, because I was thinking that they spend most of their time in the kitchen, like hanging out with friends while someone is cooking and the other person or the other people are just hanging out on the bar stools, and they're just hanging out together, you know? And I think that they use that space way more than they use the actual living space. Like they will sit down on the couch and just watch TV or watch a movie from time to time, but it's definitely not where they spend the majority of their time. Like they're either be like in the kitchen hanging out nearby the or at the island counters, or they will be sitting at the dining table or something like that, or the sim will be working in their office area, which is this space that I'm decorating right now. And usually I don't really like using this actual what's it called, like video record item that comes with Get Famous, because I think it looks, I don't know, I don't really like the way that it looks, and I always like making my own like makeshift desks with like a couple of monitors and a camera and stuff like that comes with a Moschino stuff pack. But for this build, because I want to eventually use it for my own gameplay, I wanted it to be actually usable. So I decided to go with the desk that comes with Get Famous, which makes sense because it's usable and it's nice for gameplay and you don't have to change anything around if you want to use this house for the same purpose. And here I created a cute little backdrop for their videos because I was thinking that the sim who lives here, they make vlogs and stuff like that on like lifestyle and beauty and also like health and fitness and all those kinds of things. So they are a vlogger, but at the same time, they sometimes just sit down at their desk and record videos as well. So I decided to go ahead and make a cute little backdrop with a lot of clutter and plants and a nice little candle. And I think that this wall is actually my favorite wall of the whole house because I just really like the way it looks. It has a whole lot of plants and stuff. It just looks so lively and so cutesy in my opinion. So yeah, I also put down a little couch in the office space because maybe they just want to take their laptop and sit down on the couch when they're doing some editing or something. Maybe they just want a little change of scenery or something. I don't really know. But I just really enjoyed placing down that couch. It could also function as a nice location to sit down and record a vlog or just a nice little talking video or something like that. I don't know. I just thought it would make sense. And here you can see this is the bedroom. It's pretty small, but you could have two Sims sleeping in this bed because the bed is accessible from both sides. And I also decided to go ahead and add those plushies that came with the Star Wars game pack because I don't know if you've watched my Star Wars Loft video, but yeah. I'm definitely obsessed with those little plushies. I think they're the cutest things that we have in the game, or at least they are the cutest items in the whole Journey to Batuu game pack. And I cannot keep myself from using them. So I had to use them in this build as well, even though I really wasn't thinking that the sim would be a Star Wars fan. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can always pretend that those things are not from Star Wars or something. But here you can see I gave them a little dresser and a little makeup area. I just really liked I really liked placing down that bar stool by the mirror because it just looks like a cute makeshift makeup area in my opinion. And yeah, if I were the sim living here, I would definitely use that, even though it's not usable at all, but in the game, I mean, but I don't know, I just think it looks cute. And I really like the neutral color scheme in this bedroom as well. I used a bed that comes with Eco Lifestyle as well. I've never actually used that bedding before, I don't think, that swatch of the bedding, but I think that it looks really cool. So yeah, and I was just definitely really enjoying it. And this is the only bathroom in the house. I don't know, I figured I would only need one bathroom in this house because it is pretty small and I also didn't really have the room for another bathroom. But I like it. It's nothing too fancy, nothing very special, but it looks definitely very modern and very nice and kind of luxurious even though it's small. But yeah, I really like the way that it looks, and that was actually already it for the interior of the house. Here you can see we moved on to the outside of the house. I really didn't do any landscaping before I moved on to the interior for this build, which is pretty weird for me. Usually what I do is I finish up all the landscaping before I move on to the interior of the house, but for this one, for some reason, I didn't. Actually, I do remember why I didn't do it, because I was a little bit, I don't know, I guess intimidated or demotivated by the fact that I had so much space left on the lot, and I really already knew from the get-go that I didn't want to use up all the space on the lot for landscaping. But yeah, I was just a little bit intimidated by it. I didn't really know how to make it look cute. So I kind of just put it off and decided to work on the interior of the house before I moved on to the exterior of the house. But you can see that for the front of the house, I also made sure to give them a car because I was definitely thinking that the sim, they have their own car and they also need one. to go to different meetings or like have like brand meetings and stuff like that, or just go places whenever they're making a vlog or a video with somebody else, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, but I just really figured that the sim would have a car. And yeah, here on the back porch, I just made it look cute with a tiny little dining table, and I also placed down a tiny little couch right there, just a cute little spot to hang out whenever the weather is nice, which, I mean, it's nice a lot of the time, I think, here in this world. I don't actually know because I barely ever play here, but it's based on LA, if I'm not mistaken, so I figured that the weather would be very nice here all the time. So I did make sure that even though the backyard that I created for them is fairly small, I did make sure that there is a nice spot to hang out on the couch with a friend, or just have dinner outside, or just use one of the lounge chairs and just hang out in the backyard and enjoy the sun. And I also made sure to give them a grill and an outside bin, obviously, because you need those for gameplay. And yeah, I did a little bit of landscaping in the backyard as well. It's really not too much landscaping because, I don't know, the world around this lot or like the surrounding area is not that like crazily landscaped either. I don't know if that made any sense what I just said. But yeah, there's not too much landscaping going on in the world around it either. So yeah, I didn't want to make it look too out of place. But I definitely did add some plants, and I tried to make it look a little bit more cute and detailed with some fencing. I used the fence to close off the backyard, and then I used that lower fence that comes with, or that comes in the Diba catalog. And I also made sure to give this person a bike, by the way, because I just thought that they would maybe like to bike over to the beach or the pier and just go for bike rides as some sort of exercise. Because I do imagine that the sim is very active and they like going out for bike rides or going out for runs, or just they like to work out in general and make videos about that as well, like upload like workout routines and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought it would make sense to give this sim a just a little bike. And here you can see that the front porch is actually quite spacious as well. So I do think that I added another tiny little seating area. I'm not actually remembering correctly if I did that, but oh yeah, here you can see that I added 2 lounge chairs as well, and then that is already it for this build. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. You can download it off the gallery. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!